I want you like an animal. I want to feel you from the inside. I want you like an animal. My whole existence is flawed.
I'm about to read the official Locks lore that was just written by
Let me pause this real quick.
our very own Condor. I'm assuming they're quite the wordsmith because I have not proofread this nor vouched for any of their writing skills. Mornings after a performance were always quiet in the circus. Many clowns and entertainers called home. Face paint smeared across pillows by accident, uniforms dropped on the floor in favor of more comfy clothes, and the coffee pot being refilled time and time again as more folks start their day. While performances are high energy, many are too wiped mentally and physically to hang out with one another. It isn't common to not see specific clowns after the show, held up in their rooms to recharge. Some clowns were different though and would often seek out others, whether it was for a simple chat or even some casual game. After getting a fresh cup of tea with a splash of milk and a couple scoops of sugar, Squiggles will start her day a bit later than usual. All the acrobatics done last night left her muscles achy, and the shouting left her throat sore. Nothing tea couldn't help with. Ram was still out cold in their shared room, so she figured she would give Locks a visit. She was one of those clowns who sought out the company of others, and right now she was feeling like Locks needed the company.
No.
The night before, all the clowns were doing their amazing acts and tricks for a large crowd of people. Everyone was used to it, and everyone enjoyed performing. But there was one clown that was missing the last few days. Locks had been feeling pretty under the weather, and had been held up in his room. No one knew what was wrong, but it was deemed for the best if he stayed there. He would be brought everything he needed, and people would visit him, of course. But no performances for this guy until he got better. Just before knocking on his door, however, the clown frowned softly when she heard a faint noise on the other side. She would press her ear to the door to listen in better, only to realize it was Locks crying.
Locks? She would give a gentle knock with her knuckles and voice quiet. Hey, you okay in there, buddy?
From the other side of the door, there was a creak in the mattress, then footsteps. The door would then open a little, and poor sad Locks would reveal himself. Tears streamed down his cheeks, which he had attempted to wipe off before the door had even opened.
Oh, Locks. Squiggles' voice would take on a softer tone, moving more into view. What's the matter? Did something happen?
He would start, his voice hoarse from his crying. He would clear his throat and nod, opening up the door further to let his friend in. Yeah, I'm all right. Come on in. I don't want to talk about this in the hall. He would open the door to further let the pink-haired clown in. Squiggles stepped in cautiously. She wasn't sure why he was upset, but hopefully she could cheer him up a bit. He would sit down on the edge of the bed, head in his hands. Squiggles would move to set her tea down on his nightstand before sitting beside him. Her hand would settle on his back, rubbing his small, comforting circles there.
Is this about last night? Not everyone has to be in the show. It's all right. You were feeling sick. She would try to console him, leaning over with a small smile. It's really no big deal.
It's not that. I would say through his hands muffled. His fingers would drag down his face, shoulders hunching over. I figured out why I've been sick. I just don't know what to do about it.
Oh, well, we can figure that out. Her hands travel upwards, patting his back. We could get you to a doctor's office or something. No problem. Whatever it takes to make you feel better, Locks.
I'm pregnant, Squigs. Those three words struck her in her chest, eyes widening as she stared. She stared at the other. She was speechless, mouth hanging open. There was no way he could be pregnant. Now, how was that even possible? And if he was pregnant, who the hell was the father?
That's a lot to take in. A nervous chuckle escaped her. Maybe you just have a fever, or you're just thinking you're...
Lo and behold, something would be thrusted in front of her, a familiar piece of plastic, 2 lines clear as day. She showed a lump in her throat, then leaned in softly into Locke's side. So much for trying to make it feel better. What could she do in a situation like this? The only thing she could do was be supportive. This is her friend in a vulnerable position. She had to be supportive of his
Friend
wishes.
is a very light term. This is exciting! Wow! She would look up to his face, a smile adorning hers. A little baby clown, that's nice, right? But if you don't want to keep it, I understand too.
Locke's lower lip would tremble, but he would finally match her smile. No, I do. I want to keep it. I'm just scared right now, that's all.
I'm sorry!
I'm in the character. Keep going.
Oh, gosh. You don't have to be scared. We're all here for you. We're a big family already. Her hand would come down to tentatively rest on Locke's stomach. Oh my god.
Yeah.
There was a slight bulge there where that had been before. You have to tell me what even happened. Who clown nose did you honk?
That made Locke perk up a bit more, at least. A laugh leaving his lips. It all started a week ago. 1 week ago in big bold font. The show had been electric all night. The crowd of people roaring with laughter or wonder, depending on which clown waltzed out to strut their stuff. Though each performance needs a finale, they have a real treat for everyone tonight. Locke had been doing his sniper bit, shooting apples off moving targets and replacing his gun with the water gun. When the crowd was distracted, it would always land a shocking gasp from the crowd when he missed and hit someone. Only for it to turn into laughter when the bullet turned out to be colored water. Thank God. Grand feature of the night would be shooting Squiggles out of a cannon and having her land on the balcony above. They had practiced it several times and it has gone great each time. But he couldn't help but be nervous once the cannon was wheeled out. So nervous that he dropped all his fake grenades from his belt. And they have grenades! And he was announcing the stuff that would be happening. Someone that had been seated on the ground floor did help him. Sexy 4-armed astral being that took the shape of a tree. He had mad elements to him amongst the beautiful green leaves. The stuff most was that his purple lone eye scanning over his as he offered out the 3 grenades that had fallen. Locke was enchanted immediately, taking the grenades with a nervous chuckle. The show must go on, hottie in the crowd or not. The show indeed did go on. He only fumbled slightly with the cannon, nearly missing the target. Squiggles was fine, however, landing up on the balcony with a flip. The crowd went wild, and Locke could feel that purple eye boring a hole through his back. Once that night was over, the crowd would funnel out of the circus tent, all but one, however. Familiar figure stayed behind outside of the tent, watching performers leave. Once Locke left, he would approach.
Hey, the stranger would start startling Locke. Sorry if I distracted you during your performance.
Oh, Locke was shocked to see the guy, but happy nonetheless. A giddiness formed in his chest and spilled out a stutter. It's all right. I don't even worry about it. Wasn't even distracted.
You seem pretty distracted up there. I'm Rex, by the way. Nice to meet you. Been a fan for a while.
The kidneys turned to be butterflies, Locke twirling around his hair and his fingers and gloves. A fan, eh? Well, consider me flattered. Never had I had a fan so smoking hot before.
Oh, really?
Yes, that buck is deserved.
Take a step closer. The cool night breeze ruffling his sleeves in a totally sexy way.
Rex can't get through this next
Oh, he
line.
can't. Come on.
Take a couple of big breaths, boy.
We got a baby to make.
Well, this smoking hot fan would like to spend some time with you, if that's all right.
Bad for Locke to take Rex back to his room without really knowing him? Maybe. But he didn't care. He had a fire in his soul, and he could tell Rex felt the same way. They spent all night playing video games and holding hands. Rex would even let Locks hold all 4 of his hands. It made him feel more alive than shooting guns, firing grenades, and shooting friends out of cannons. It was pure ecstasy. In the morning, he was prepared to roll over to greet his new lover, only to find his bed cold, empty. The man of his dreams had left him high and dry. It broke his heart. For the next couple days, he would progressively feel worse. First, he thought he had caught a stomach bug since he had been throwing up. He had realized that he and Rex touched hands without protection. Oh! In a panic, he took a pregnancy test. And, well, the rest is history. It had been 3 years since Lox's baby was born. We have a time skip here. The new baby was loved by the whole circus and raised by everyone. Rex would even come back after realizing what had happened, becoming part of the show himself to support his unmarried wife and baby. What's the baby? One may ask. Well, that baby was here. And Lox smiled as he rocked you to sleep. Is how I met your father. He would nuzzle into Lox's side. Your baby siblings was in his stomach, the bolts bouncing ever so softly when they kicked. You were happy to have your 2 cats and other clown parents as you yawned and drifted off to sleep in your dad's arms. Idle clown music playing in the next room would be your lullaby, and honks would fill your dreams. And then we... Now Connor's writing, that's all canon now!
Chat, you are the baby!
I lost it at Astral Tree or something?
Yeah!
Yeah.
Oh my god,
What
the wind blows your leaves all sexy like.
I also like to point out someone called out my country accent. Fuck you.
Did somebody just say impreg? What's that? What you
Oh, no.
just heard us read, baby?